Welcome to AI Champions. I'm your host, Chris Budihas, and my co-host here is Cole Faust. And we have on on the internet, we have Mark Somerville with Somerville Analytics, LLC, up there in the beautiful state of Michigan. Mark, how are you?
How you doing? It's beautiful, warm, 30 degrees up here in Novi, Michigan. It's a heat wave.
Well, be careful. Don't get dehydrated up there. So, hey, Mark, can you tell the audience, Somerville Analytics, a little bit about yourself, and then what is Somerville Analytics?
Yeah, sure. Myself, it doesn't really matter. I've had a great ride in tech. Somerville Analytics is really playing in the space of ethical AI. And what is that whole space? Everyone is talking AI. And so the way we have come about really brought our company to life is we really focus on helping organizations, and I say organizations of any size, any scale, really enable the best versions of themselves. And we firmly believe at the heart of getting into the AI arena, you need to have the guardrails of how you're going to manage AI organizationally, ethically, before you start down these journeys of doing one-off AI projects. And so we help companies do that. We engage at the board level, the political leader level, as well as the CO level. We don't get into too much of the tactical deployment of AI. And we're building software too. So we have a product that will be coming out in the summertime that I can't really speak about right now, but stuff that really help you align your values with what you plan to accomplish from an AI perspective. I will tell you what's unique about our company is whenever you're speaking to me, I'm unprofitable. That's because I don't give a portion of my profits, but every quarter we give all of our profits earned to charities.
Wow.
Another thing that is unique about us is that we're not out there actively recruiting business. We have a method and a process in which we look at our corporate values, which are trust, compassion, sustainability, creativity, and value. And before we even talk about sustainability, value, and creativity, we need to align first on trust and compassion before we go forward. And I think that that's a great model for picking the right companies and the right leaders to help them be the best versions of themselves in this crazy AI world.
Oh, man, absolutely.
Nice. Mark, quick question. So you talk about the ethical side of it and all. Have you guys built out like any way to parameterize? Because like if I create a custom GPT or something and I throw in a thing all about a company, it's got their financial stuff, I can literally ask it, how much did they make annual revenue or whatnot? Like how are you guys helping aid that from an ethical side?
That's a great question. And what concerns me a lot when we speak about ethics is we're so, and I would say like I've learned more about psychology in AI than I had from studying it at the University of Michigan and Michigan State. We're so trained to look at the output, and yet we don't really understand, or most people don't understand the mechanisms to be able to how we get there.
Yeah.
When we parameterize, I might have brutalized that word. I think that there's a lot of setting the guardrails up in a way in which we can analyze the values, how the values are operationalized, different data sources that come to make these values important in an operating company. And where we see gaps and we use our analytical models to be able to look at those gaps, we're able to say like, oh, there's disharmony, there's disconnect here. To be able to see, is this real? Is this, how many times have you been to a company where you see the successories, these are our values, customer success, but they don't live them. So we start with the values. When we look at and we also take a chance, because hallucinations are really big in AI right now. We know that. I think things are going to get better. I'm excited about seeing what ChatGPT 5 is going to bring us.
The O3 reasoning is trying to. Sorry.
Go ahead. No.
Yes. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Reasoning and agentic models coming out to help solve that. Yeah.
It's moving so fast. So really setting the parameters, I think you got to look, there's still a manual lift on looking at those parameters and testing the outcomes and being critical in the way that you're thinking. Mm-hmm. And I think that's going to only improve, I think, in the next 6 to 12 months. But that's how we kind of approach it.
I appreciate it, Mark. No, that's great. I love, there's so much to unpack with your statements because I like what you're saying earlier. One, you got these parameters. We don't always work with anybody. We got these parameters. Oh, by the way, before you start clicking on a keyboard, we need to kind of frame the conversation, understand what we're asking, kind of get it on paper, if you will, and then from there, get into the software. I think there's a lot of folks that maybe go to the latter, which is let's get on there and start figuring it out. Well, it's probably too late, and you're probably, potentially violating some form of regulation, law, or policy within the company or beyond the company if you're not careful. So that's amazing. I appreciate what you've provided here today. So Mark, how do people find Somerville Analytics?
Right now, you're going to be we reject more business than we take. Because it is truly we're looking for those special companies, organizations that want to use AI in an ethical manner, and we bring our whole organization, our connections, and everything to make them the best versions of themselves. So right now we're on LinkedIn. You may ask, as a startup AI individual, where's your website? And I'm thinking about that because I'm not out there just advertising like come and I want the business. We're very curated in who we work with, and we don't promote our customer logos.
That's good.
And I think that there's a reason for that. The types of discussions that our teams are engaged in are very confidential and very high level because we're truly at a stage where a lot of the things that AI can do is in this new realm of creativity. And so these are very, very high level conversations. And so promoting that for the client would just say like, hey, I'm working with this client, this client, this client. That's not what we're about.
Yep.
We'll promote the Down Syndrome Association of Michigan, the Veterans Returning Home, the charities where our profits go. And I might have a website, but for right now I'm on LinkedIn. And
that's great.
We're pretty great with that.
Well, thanks, Mark. I appreciate your time. Thanks for talking about, number one, what your company's doing and how you are doing it. To give an explanation, you put in layman's terms that people can understand that it's not this spooky thing in the closet AI, or nor is it the miraculous thing that's going to change the world, though it is going to impact the world. So we appreciate your time. We'll take your contact information or put in our show notes. And we look forward to staying in contact and seeing how Somerville Analytics is going to change a lot of great businesses. And thanks for all your contributions to charity. That is that's huge these days, like taking care of people that really can't take care of themselves. So thanks again, Mark. Hey, folks, you like what you heard here on AI Champions? Share our contact. Connect with Mark on LinkedIn. We'll see you our next segment. I live with gratitude.